Here we have the inside of the Mobilvetta K-Silver I. If we firstly come to the main control panel, to turn the 12 volt on, we firstly need to press this button just here, which I've already done, and then we press the auxiliary button. Once we've then done that, we can press this button here to turn the water pump on. The water pump needs to be on so we can get water out of the taps, flush the toilet and fill the boiler if it's been drained down. Next we have the button for the awning light. If we then drop to the lower buttons, this first one here will give us a condition of the leisure battery, and then this one here will give us a condition of the vehicle battery. This next one will let us know how much water is in the fresh tank. Whenever the waste tank needs emptying, a light will flash here to let you know that it needs to be dropped. You'll see this one's currently flashing, letting us know that we only have a small amount of water on board. This last button just here just controls the illumination of this control panel, so we can dim it down and brighten it back up again. This green light here is just letting us know that we currently have main supply connected to the motorhome, and then lastly a light will illuminate here when we start the engine to let you know that the alternator is charging the batteries. If we now move to the trimmer control panel for the heating and the hot water, you'll see at the moment it's currently displaying the time. If I now click on it, what we firstly need to do is just make sure by going to this one here that we have it set on gas, as this particular motorhome only runs off the gas. If we now come to the first icon, this one here is for your heating. If we now click on it, you'll see that the heating is off, and all we now do is just rotate and pick whatever temperature we would like it to be inside the motorhome, and then we just click it to store in. You'll now see a little flames appeared above, and that little flame there just represents the heating system, and it's just letting you know that you've set a parameter. Whenever the heating is in operation, that flame will steadily flash, and it will continue to flash until it achieves the temperature that you've asked it to. The thermostat is just here. If we now click again and we move to the next icon, this one here is for your hot water, and again hot water is off. If I now rotate, we can heat hot water in eco mode, which will give us a temperature of about 40 degrees. We can heat in hot, which will give us a water temperature of about 60, and we can also perform a boost on the boiler. The boost was mainly designed for if there's going to be more than one of you having showers in quick succession of each other. If you do perform the boost and the heating is running, it will turn the heating off as it needs to use that extra power. As I've just stated, this one is power source, and we only use gas on this particular model. If you select anything else, it will just throw up an error code. Next we have circulation fan for the heating system. So currently the fan is set in eco mode. If I rotate, we can turn the fan up to high or have it on boost. If we now drop to the lower icon, this first one here is for a basic timer. So again, if I now click on it, we can then set when we would like the timer to begin, and then when we would like it to end, and then we just tell it what we would like on within that time period. Lastly, timer on or off. If I now set the timer on, you'll see this timer icon will come up here, and now within that time period those settings would apply. As soon as I go back into it, I can then turn the timer back off again, and when we return to it we can then alter it again. Next we have clock set, and then lastly we have the settings menu. So within this we have offset for the thermostat, so if you don't think it's quite correct you can just slightly alter it. We have temperature display either in Celsius or Fahrenheit. Brightness of the screen, 12 or 24 hour clock, language, index, which is more for the technicians, it just lets them know what software this is running, and then lastly full factory reset. From time to time these will throw up error codes, so if I now go back up to here and I do select electric, this will now throw up an error code. Reason being is this particular one doesn't run on electric, so it's less letting us know that it hasn't got it. So if I now put it back to gas, you'll see that the error code goes out automatically. So 9 times out of 10, as long as you rectify the problem, the error code will go out. If you are having problems with it not disappearing, what you can do is do a factory reset on it, and 9 times out of 10 this will solve the problem. If we now remove this cushion just here, and now remove this part, we have the location of the leisure battery itself, and then just at the side here is the battery charger. Tucked down here we have internal light switch and also the waste tank heater. So if you are using the van in extremely cold climate and there's a danger of the water that is going into the waste tank from freezing, you can pop this on to avoid frost damage. The freshwater tank is located underneath the seat just here. So again, if I now remove the cushion and now remove this section just here, we can see the water tank just here. So we can see the water pump itself, and we can gain access to the water tank just here to add cleaning powders, etc. And this is also where the tank drains from. You can see the little bung just here. All we do is we just pull it out to drain it down. Next we have the Thetford fridge freezer, on and off just here. This is an automatic model, so as long as you are on A for auto, it will find the best power source it can for you. So because we're currently hooked up to mains supply, it's put us onto mains electricity with a little picture of the 2-pin plug just here. If I now ran outside and pulled the mains lead out, it would then automatically attempt to fire itself up onto gas. And when we start the engine, it will then automatically go over to 12 volt maintain to keep itself cold whilst on the move. We can take it out of auto if we want, just by pressing here. So I can manually put it onto mains, manually put it onto 12 volt maintain. We are going to get an error code at the moment because the engine isn't running. And I can manually put it onto gas. But auto is the easiest one to have it on. Temperature control just here. And then the last one just here is the anti-condensation jacket on and off. It's currently off as it's not needed because it's extremely cold outside. If you are using the motorhome in warm climate, I usually say anything sort of above 20 degrees, usually probably more 25. Make sure you turn it on. This will stop a build-up of condensation at the back of the unit, which would then run down and form a puddle underneath it. And to turn it back off again, just again hold. Above it we have the oven and the grill. Push in to the left for the oven and push in to the right for the grill. We also have a light as well. We then have the sink and the 3 gas rings. Push, twist and push the igniter. Above the cooker we have the location of the television. To slide out, just push down just here and then pull towards you. And then this one here, if we then pull this one, we can then flap the television down and then rotate it. To turn on, just press here, and then this behaves like most televisions.
Bruce was attempting to use the original rotten tabletop as drinks caddies.
To retune in as you change location, you have the fast retune just here, so just press and it will take you straight back to the retune menu, and then just hit OK, and then it will retune itself back in again. Also up here we have both of the solar panel regulators for the 2 solar panels on the roof. We do not need to do anything with these, they will just smart charge the vehicle and leisure battery. And then we also have up here where the television's plugged in and the digital amplifier for the TV aerial on the roof. On and off up the top here, and then we can control the boost on the dial just here. We then have the location of the gas isolation taps just here. They're all in the on position. So we have hob, cooker and grill, heating and hot water, and the fridge. I do always say if you do smell gas in the motorhome, just go to the source and turn the gas bottle off. As we now move to the centre of the van, we have the shower. Do make sure that the screens are clipped back for travel. We then have the toilet. The bowl does swivel. To open to the cassette, just pull the lever across like so. Blue button to flush. Illumination here to let you know when the cassette needs emptying. If you have left this open and you try to remove the cassette from the outside, it will not come out. So if you do feel resistance, just come and check to see if somebody's left it open. We then have the basin just here. Bed at the back. On one of the steps just here, if we flap this up, we have the consumer unit just here. So if anything's not working on main supply, just come to here to see whether or not you've tripped. In the wardrobe at the back here, we have the motorhome Wi-Fi unit. Tucked in here we have the operating instructions, etc. just here, and the SIM, etc. The 12-volt fuses are located behind the driver's seat, so they are just tucked down here. Beside it there is also a 12-volt isolator as well, so if you're not using the motorhome for long periods of time, you can isolate it just here. You may not need it as there are solar panels fitted. The jack and wheel brace kit is located underneath the passenger seat. To use the overcab bed, we need to fold the seats forward, so it's just done on these just here. Once we've done this, we then just need to make sure that we've unclipped, and then we can then pull down like so, and then attach the ladder from the garage onto these 2 points just here. Do make sure for travel that it is fully secured in the clip.